So a book has to solve a problem and it has to have an outcome. So what are the other kind of general pieces to it?
So one of the things that I would say, by the way, this is all in my book, The Difference, and people can get that on
Yeah.
they can get it on Amazon, they can get it on my website.
I'll link it on the show notes. Yeah.
But one of the steps is writing the book. So most people think the only step is writing a book. Like, I'm going to sit down, start writing, then I'll finish. So that's step 7, I think, is write the book.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what you're doing at the beginning is identifying writer's block is going to come up. What are your techniques for managing it? So we call that focus your author mojo. We need to know in advance how you're going to handle it and not be like bummed when it happens. It's part of the process. And there's a huge upside to it. So we have to have a strategy. One of the things that we do is we create your framework. So that's one of the steps in the process. And when we do all this setup work, the reason it only takes about 40 hours for all of our authors to write a book is because everything's set up, and what we're really talking about is typing. So your listeners can do this quick little exercise. They can figure out how long it will take them to write a book. What I recommend is that people write for 30 minutes without stopping on why I want to write a book. Doesn't matter. Don't pick up your pen. Even if you're writing or typing, don't pick up your fingers. Even if you're typing, I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to be typing now, but 30 minutes isn't up, so I'm going to keep typing.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just going to keep typing for 30 minutes. If you answer the question, this is why I want to write a book, or the way we have our authors do it is they imagine the book is done and they write an essay on why I wrote the book.
Oh,
So
that's beautiful. They're creating a vision at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one of our steps is envision your success. And so we do that. And that often becomes the introduction for the book. So they write their why I wrote it before they even write it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. So that for 30 minutes, yeah.
30 minutes. And then you're going to get a word count. And that word count, let's just say, is 500 words that you wrote in a half an hour. For each chapter, you're going to have anywhere between 2,000 and 5,000 words.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to take anywhere between 2 and 5 hours. We say 2 and 4 hours to write the book. So if you have 500 words in 30 minutes, you can get 2,000 words in 2 hours.
Yeah.
That's one chapter.
Mm-hmm.
Your book is probably going to have around 12 chapters, which will be 24,000 words, and that's about the average. It might be 12 chapters of 5,000 words, which would be 60,000, but your book is going to be somewhere between 24,000 and 60,000 words. So what I do is I have you take your 30-minute writing test, multiply it times 4. If that number is at least 2,000, that is your word count per chapter.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll multiply that times 12, and it will tell you exactly how many words your book will be in advance. And if you do 2 hours per chapter and you have 12 chapters, that's 24 hours to write a book. So that's how we do it. And everything's a time test. It's just like in college or in high school when you had like a timed essay test.
Mm-hmm.
Each chapter is a time test of somewhere between 2 to 4 hours. You set that based on how fast of a typist you are. We do a lot of author mojo work with your personality. Like, do you work better under pressure or more spaciousness? And we're not going to invent that for this. It's how you normally do it.
Mm.
Do you normally if you're giving a speech, are you writing it on on the airplane on the way there? Because I am. Yep.
Yes, me too.
You want 2 hours per chapter. Or are you somebody we call a plotter? Are you somebody who you're giving a speech a month beforehand, you write it, then you look at it a week beforehand, then you look at it a day beforehand? If you're somebody who needs more spaciousness, then we give you 4 hours. But you're going to schedule either 2, 3, or 4 hours per chapter. And we do a lot of the outlining the framework first, but it's almost always around 12 chapters.
Mm.
Yeah.